20th century, and in the 1990s, we have to still go the same bullshit route that other artists have had to go to get acceptance. If it wasn't for the independence, if it wasn't for the small little cities and the few little ghetto guys trying to make music, it would have never happened. Some of these guys will never make a dime. Some of these guys will be poor and die alone. But in the process, they've been the true renegades. And the true rebels always walk alone anyway. guys will never make a dime. But in the process, they've been the true renegades. And the true rebels always walk alone anyway.
Good evening everybody and welcome to the British Boring Car Championship and the second pre-season test from Brands Hatch, the beautiful and wonderful Grand Prix circuit here on Chaz Draycott Media. I am of course Chaz Draycott, here to guide you through the action tonight. We've got a bit of a different test this evening for the drivers, where we will have a race and a qualifying session throughout, so these guys can test their mettle a little bit and have a proper battle against one another. We've got a couple of the cars out on track at the moment, but as you can see, it's quite hot in terms of the air temperature. The track temperature not too bad at the moment. It's very, very low winds, and the sun is quite low as well, so there's not too much for these guys to have to deal with at the moment. In terms of driver numbers and car numbers, they're all going to be pretty spot on tonight. This is the first time we've seen Rob Lundgren out on track this season in the iRacing Hitters car. Teammates, of course, with Dennis Melchett, who was fastest in the previous session. Andy Fox there in the dodgy MOT car just goes top in his beautifully liveried VW Jetta. We currently have 9 cars in the session. Morgan Butler's just on a lap at the moment for Team Jane Fonda. And Matt Draycott was fastest. You can see on the left hand side, by the way, there's little yellow stripes next to the independent drivers that are not in a team, and any others are coloured as to their team's car colour. Niall Crowther, Jack Werrell and Josh Rayfield are in the session, as well as Michael Blake. Those guys haven't put times on the board as of yet, but this is going to be a really good fun session this. Ben Lambert back out on track tonight. He hasn't been giving up in these things. He's only 1.3 off the pace of Andy Fox at the moment. Ben has been really giving it a go since that first session last week, where he unfortunately ended bottom of the pile, but he didn't give up and he's back again to give it a go. Thank you everybody that is watching on Facebook at the moment on the Chaz Draycott media page. I do see you there, and the guys watching on YouTube as well. Good evening to you all. Hopefully you will stick with us for the duration of this session. Should be a right good laugh, and I'm really looking forward to what these guys can do. Should be good fun. Seeing Ben there go down Paddock Hill Bend. We'll bring up the lap times of these guys as well in the bottom, so you can just see what they've done. A 42.149 is Ben's best. He did a 42.4 last time round, so no improvement there. Here's Michael Blake just crossing the line. Whether he actually gets an improvement or not, we will wait to see. He does a 1:46.97. So a bit of a baptism of fire so far. These lighting conditions are looking quite nice actually, aren't they? The cars are reflecting well. The spec maps, which are the metallic and glossy bits that you can see, all looking good. And interestingly enough, the only two drivers in the season that are not the British drivers, as Morgan Butler goes third, are Robert Lundgren and Dennis Melchett, and the two of them are in Volvos. Funnily enough as well, Rob Lundgren is a Swedish driver in a Volvo, as Draycott goes top with a 1:40.335. These guys managed to get into the 1:39s last time, only 3 of them doing so. That was Tom Jacobs, Dennis Melchett and Matt Draycott. But the conditions probably favouring these cars a bit more now. Draycott's gone half a second quicker. Great time that is. Really, really good time. This is Andy Fox in the number 21 car. But I hope you guys enjoy the idea of the series. It's all meant to be a bit of fun. Super touring liveries on a rather dull diesel Volkswagen racing car. It just sort of mimics the fact that Super Tourers were very exciting, loud and aggressive looking machines, and this is quite the opposite. However, the mid-corner speed that this car can handle, I mean, let's just go on board with Michael Blake for a sec. You'll see in the bottom right the speed that he's currently doing. They do nearly 120 mile an hour when they come down to the first corner, but even then, they're not really scrubbing off that much speed, only about 30 k's as they go through there. Still doing 120 k's, and for a car that isn't covered and caked in downforce and splitters and things, it does a really, really good job. The mechanical grip is fantastic. I mean, it bounces around like an absolute pig, which you will see. Apparently we don't have car sounds. You should do. Actually, I'll tell you what, sorry. I turned them down quite a lot from last time we did one of these sessions, so there you go. Should be better now. The cars are very quiet on board, listen. There you go. That should be a bit better now anyway. Yeah, I did a NASCAR event on Friday for Vertex, and them things are loud. Them things are really, really loud. But Josh Rayfield is just back in the pits. Apparently he went off track a moment ago. Let's just have a look what happened to Josh. I think he might be having an issue with his wheel because he's come out of the pits and gone straight off the track by the look of it. Yeah, he just pulls over in the team netcode car. Hopefully we'll see his teammate Carl Jacquelet in the session a little bit later. That, I tell you what, that livery looks really good in this low light. The reflection's working beautifully. Just ahead of him on track a moment ago was Jack Werrell in the Nodaphone car, number 65. Jack and his teammate Tom Jacobs were doing a smashing job in the first of the 2 pre-season tests. As this is just the practice session though, don't forget some of these times will count even if these boys get an incident point along the way. Michael Blake has just gone top of the pile in the Might Just Fit car with a 140.092. He's side by side with Rob Lundgren here. These guys will all get to have a race against each other as well at the end of this session, which I'm looking forward to. It's going to be the very first time that we see them in a proper race scenario. Look at the mid-corner speed they can carry. It's fantastic. It really is. Here's Ben Lambert just going down towards Pilgrim's Drop in the Paula Cook mimicking car. The independent guys are going to have a bit of an interesting championship because they won't have to worry about any of the sort of thoughts that would go through your head if you have a teammate. We are going to put some music on in the background as well, so we've got something to listen to apart from just my voice. We will turn it down a little bit though. Have it just as a bit more of a background for you. But Brands Hatch, it's always a pretty circuit. We had the last session in what they call afternoon conditions on iRacing, where it was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The in-sim time at the moment, you're just going to see the overlay for a second. The in-sim time is actually 10 past 7 in the evening. So by the time these guys finish practice and qualifying, which is going to be, well, it's going to be about 7:45. Actually, no, it's not. It's going to be past 8 o'clock in the sim, so we may end up getting some very low lit conditions for the end of this session and the race itself that we're going to have at the end of the night, which is going to be the sort of setting that we're going to get at Silverstone for the final round of the championship. So it's going to be good to see how the guys manage that and how the cars look. Oh, Rob Lundgren having a proper moment there into Paddock Hill Bend. Big bounce into the wall. Ian Fox has just asked in chat, just confirm setup, etc. is all fixed. Yes, the Jetta, actually, you can't really play with the setup that much on iRacing. It's a very old car now, is this thing. It's a good 7 years old on iRacing, I think, even older than that. Morgan Butler's got the most incident points so far by double everybody else and is currently racking them up even more. He's pushing very hard indeed. Niall Crowther goes 8th with a 144.8. He's also pushing the limits there. Just getting used to the car again. Jack Werrell is back in the pits. Not quite sure why. And we should see Steve Burke tonight as well. Steve is in the chat on Discord with all the other guys. Everyone is in one chat, which is nice. They all communicate very well with one another, and everybody's been getting on since the first test. I'm sure Steve will be making everyone laugh. I just want to have another look at this Team Netcode car, though. It's built to, well, painted to mimic the 1999 Renault Laguna, as Draycott goes top, 39.9. First car in the 39s today. Josh Rayfield has a 40.1 as he goes over the grass on the inside. But this is built and painted to replicate the 1999 Renault Laguna, the Nescafe Blend 37 Laguna. So it's got the beautiful metallic green underneath with the glossy white stickers over it. Andy Fox is currently 5th at the moment, comes into the pits. Oh, Niall Crowther's has gone off. Oh, we've seen a lot of guys do this. Coming up through Dingle Dell and over Sheen Curve, it's very easy for the car to just wash out wide. We're going to just see if there's anybody coming up to it at the moment. Rob Lundgren's just been through. Here you go, Jack Werrell. So on the exit of here on the left-hand side, just keep an eye on it. If you chuck this, Jack really chucks it in. There's just the grass creeps towards you on the left-hand side. And if you put a rear wheel on that, the car will definitely go around and into the wall. Jack is just getting used to how it handles at the moment by the look of it. Steve Burke is in the session, everybody. For the first time this season, Steve joins us, and I'll tell you what, I'll drag him up very, very quickly into the broadcast booth. Steve, good to see you, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, Chaz. How are you?
Yeah, very good, mate. You excited to get out on track tonight?
Yep, this is literally the first time I've driven this car. Just purchased and downloaded it.
Smashing.
Slightly cheaper than how much my dad paid for his VW Jetta, but I'm hoping it'll perform better than that.
Well, fingers crossed. The roll cage, the lightweight, and everything will make a difference. You'll have to see. In terms of your championship, then, being an independent going forward, not having to worry about having a teammate, what's your approach going to be as the season goes on? Are you going to completely send it everywhere, or are you going to still have a bit of a reserved sort of championship point mindset?
I think before the race starts, it's definitely going to be a reserved championship points sort of type of affair. But as soon as the lights go out, I'll forget all of that, all the sensible thinking, and send it into everything.
Well, that's going to be a great one to watch, I'm sure. I reckon you're really going to enjoy this car because, as you've probably seen and heard from some of the guys, you can just launch it into corners and it'll pretty much stick if it doesn't bounce. The mid-corner speed is actually very surprising in this thing. I'm sure you'll love it.
Excellent. Well, assuming I don't run out of fuel, should be good to go.
I don't think that'll happen, to be fair. This thing can do 10 laps around here on 1 gallon.
Excellent.
So I think you'll be all right.
Good. Looking forward to it.
Smashing.
Thanks, mate.
No worries. I'll chuck you back down, mate, but good luck.
Cheers.
And here he goes then, Steve Burke, on his first ever lap in the VW Jetta on iRacing in the independent Mark Blair mimicking livery. Another shiny blue one. He's going to be very surprised by the bounce in this thing, and like I say, the mid-corner speed. He's got Morgan Butler behind him at the moment. It's probably... he's not doing him any favours, to be honest, let's face it. Morgan being Morgan. Steve is in VR and a motion rig as well, so... yeah, he's probably not going to have enjoyed that one too much. Here's Ben Lambert just coming up to the top of the hill. I realise that we've still got the interview thing up there. Thank you very much, Richard Gafenku. Good to see you, mate. How have you been? It's been a long time. So the guys have a half-hour practice session. It's then going to be an hour-long qualifying session just so they can get plenty of laps in. And with it being a qualifying format, it means that it will have to be clean laps. So any incident points they get will mean that it doesn't count. We've got a couple of guys that are en route. Derek Robb is on his way into the session as well. I believe Dave Waldock is going to be there just after 8 o'clock, so he's going to be hoping to get in for qualifying and the race. We're waiting for Dennis Melcher as well to jump in. Not sure if Dennis is going to make it tonight. Tom Jacobs also coming in soon. We have 10 cars in the session at the moment, so we're only missing 6. It's a 16-car grid. We do have some wild cards that will be joining the grid for individual rounds as the championship goes on. And let me tell you, everybody, Raspberry Copperberg, wow. I've had my first one tonight, and it's absolutely wonderful. Steve chucks the Jetta in. It bounces around typically, as it does through Westfield. Beautiful to watch. Through Sheen Curve. We'll go on board, shall we? As Andy Fox goes up to second with a 1:40.05. Great time. I've still got Steve in an old Thrust Vector driving suit, which I've not seen in a very long time. And his old Thrust Vector helmet. Oh, big save on the exit of clearways. And, well, you can keep your foot flat pretty much everywhere in these things. Hugs it to the line, as you do. Got to save those tents. Let's see how he gets on then with his first proper lap. That was obviously an out lap that it's counted there on the left-hand side. Nice and smooth through turn 1. Plenty of curve on the brakes into Druids. He's not been on the brakes properly himself there yet, because Morgan Butler helped him into there in the first instance. Down towards Graham Hill. Thatcher's Rosé Cider. Wow, I've not tried that one yet. It's not a open session, unfortunately, Richard. It's just for the league members only. on this one, buddy. It's an official pre-season test for these guys. Chris Coughlin and Dennis Melchett have both joined the server, which is good to see. Chris Coughlin means that we have a full field of all 4 independents. Tom Jacobs has just jumped in as well, so we have a 13-car grid at the moment. Let me remind you as well, Steve Burke is the Class 2 champion in real life in the Brit Car Series in 2016, driving a Nissan 350Z GT car that he built himself. So he's a very talented driver and accomplished driver in real life. He's done a few seasons in Brit Car, and he's actually been racing in the Brit Car E-Series as well on Assetto Corsa over these last few weeks during lockdown. So I'm excited to see how he gets on. Jack Werrell improves and goes to 6th place. Michael Blake does a 1:39.6, goes 3/10 quicker than everybody. Well, it's rounded up from a 39.596. And this is going to be Steve Burke's very first fully timed lap here. So it looks very smooth, which is key to getting this car around a fast lap. So see what he manages. Tom Jacobs has just come out of the pit lane. Steve Burke, where does he end up? Oh, it doesn't seem to have counted his lap for some reason. Not quite sure. Bit of a shame. Not long left in practice. Here is Tom Jacobs then. Fastest in the session that we had after the random team draw. And then second fastest by, I think it was a matter of thousandths of a second from Dennis Melchett in the second, well, the first official pre-season test that we had. So Tom is going to be quick this season. Definitely one to catch in the number 5. Wow, look at the bounce. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. And here is the man that beat him, Dennis Melchett, in the Ericsson Hitters car. The lighting looking absolutely awesome at the moment. Really, really loving it. So we've had a personal best for Ben Lambert as well. Ben is only 2.3 seconds off the pace at the moment, and a 39.5 is not slow around here in this car. So Ben's doing a cracking job. Niall Crowther is 1.2 seconds off the pace, just ahead of him in the number 23 machine. We've got a couple of cars off track here. Oh, Jack Werrell's off big time. Michael Blake is also off. Let's have a look what happened here. Sorry, it's just jumping around a lot. I think these boys are really chucking it in around that last corner. Oh, is Jack going to clip the grass? Yeah, around he goes. Michael goes straight on. Jack, oh, he hits the end of the pit wall. And it bounces around like nobody's business. And off he goes. Oh, there's a bit of leaning on each other there. That was Jack Werrell and Josh Rayfield, the number 6 and 65. Josh is all over the place saying, no, thank you. Goes a bit deep into Druids, though. Jack down the inside. Don't forget, these guys have got a race at the end of the night. Well, they're getting the racing out of the way now. Michael Blake, your fastest at the moment, though, for Might Just Fit. Obviously a bit of a mick take of Master Fit. Really, really did like that livery in the 90s and when it went on the Vauxhalls in 2000 as well. Wasn't too keen on them from about 2001 onwards. After that, the Vauxhalls seemed to look a bit strange from then on, unfortunately, but we all know that that era of touring cars was a little bit dark for all of us. Here is Chris Coughlin in the Matt Neal mimicking independent car. Flying around at the moment. Josh Rayfield and Jack Werrell still having that fight. Chris had only done 3 laps last time we spoke to him in this car. And he had a pretty solid session first time round. Dave Waldock says he's going to be in VR when he jumps in. His teammates to Michael Blake as well, who is currently fastest, so good for those boys in terms of the team's championship. Lundgren's just come in the pits. Steve Burke has done a 1 minute 41.9. So he's 2.3 off the pace at the moment. Ben Lambert has improved actually massively there. And he's just about 1.3 seconds off the pace. Great from Ben. That's a big improvement on last week. He's definitely been watching some laps. Chris Coughlin goes into 12th place there. Dennis Melchett, the only car not to have set a time at the moment then. Don't forget, this is a practice session, so any laps that these boys have incident points, it will still count them as things stand. But we do have an hour-long qualifying session coming up as Tom Jacobs goes fastest. And to be honest, I kind of expected it, but Tom does the job with a 39.572. He's only just quicker than Michael Blake. He's got his teammate Jack Werrell just in front of him there. In the other Nodaphone car, you can see the 2 different windscreen banners, red and blue, as they were in 1999 for Laurent Aiello and David Leslie. Well, Michael Blake apparently off the track and just gone back to the pits. Matt Draycott lead independent at the moment in the Arena International car, based on their Renault Laguna from 1999, which Russell Spence very famously put over the fence at Alton Park in qualifying, somehow missing Alan Menu's parked Ford in the gravel trap at Lodge. Scary accident. If you haven't seen that, by the way, do go back and Google it and have a look. Look at it on YouTube, actually. Alan Menu just locks up the brakes and goes off into the final corner, just rests the car against the wall. Next thing you know, Russell Spence comes through after a brake failure, straight on into the barrier, and over it goes. He was very lucky not to get injured. Here's Melchett then across the line. What can he do? Is he gone top? No, he's fourth at the moment with a 39.87, just behind Matt Draycott. Josh Rayfield is just behind Andy Fox. Andy Fox, that's a good time for him at the moment, 140.05. Bit of a change around in the midfield. Chris Coughlin has just done his personal best, 141.15, so he beats Rob Lundgren's time. He was really chucking that, in inverted commas, Volvo around. Again, different banners for him and his teammate. You'll see Dennis Melchett has the dark blue windscreen banner with the white writing on it. There you go. And his teammate Rob Lundgren has the white one with blue writing on it, just to reverse it. And that's the same with the Vauxhalls as well. And that is the end of practice then. So, we're going to have qualifying now. And it's an hour long, so plenty of time for these guys to get the job done. And they're all going to jump out straight away. That is Niall Crowther at the front of the pack. Morgan Butler behind them, Jack Werrell, Matt Draycott, Josh Rayfield, Michael Blake. Then we've got Andy Fox, Dennis Melcher and Ben Lambert. So any incident points these get now in this session will mean that that lap is invalid. So they have to really concentrate, make sure it's clean. It's so easy to just chuck this car around a bit too much. Morgan Butler typically off the circuit. He spends more time off it than on it at the moment. He's coming. Oh, he's hit Niall. He's hit Niall already. I have just put a message in the chat at the moment. Morgan is sort of overstepping the limits a little bit here, in my opinion. Some of the guys having a good little scrap ahead there. That's Jack Werrell with Matt Draycott and Josh Rayfield behind, launching it over the curbs. Oh, behind Michael Blake's gone off. That's a big hit. Oh, and he's hit Morgan as well. Morgan goes backwards into the gravel. Michael gets going again. Look at this. Draycott down the inside of Werrell. Werrell doesn't care. He's going to chuck it in. It's sideways. Matt's got the run down the inside. Oh, Josh loses it nearly on the grass. Yes, damage is off for this championship, as Ian has highlighted. Draycott putting Werrell under pressure onto the brakes in turn one. Josh down the inside. Oh, they lock together. And they both managed to go off. Josh just misses that barrier on the exit. Oh, Michael Blake's off again at turn one. They're all over the place, these boys. That's Andy Fox. Sorry, Niall Crowther just going down the inside. Andy Fox is just a few cars ahead. There he is. Dennis Melchett, the only one with a clean lap as well on his outlap. That's a 146.4 for him. Ben Lambert has actually done a time as well, 146.52. But Ben has severely improved actually from the first pre-season test, which is nice to see. We want these drivers to basically just get better over the course of the championship. You know, Ben isn't the quickest on iRacing. He's not really the most experienced, but he's still going to give it a good go. And don't forget, everybody, bottom of your screen, you'll see round one of the championship is on Thursday. From 7:45 PM, the stream will be live, and we will be good to go. And I cannot wait. And it's going to take place here at Brands Hatch as well, on the Grand Prix circuit. We have two races for you that evening. A 15-minute sprint race to start the night off, and then a 25-minute feature race with a mandatory pit stop, just as they would have done in 1999. Dave Waldock has joined the session, which means we are only one car away from a full grid, and that's Carl Jacquelet that we do not have on the grid with us tonight for Team Netcode. So let's have a look. Fox has gone fastest then. Werrell, oh, he's actually just a bit quicker than Melchett. Werrell is almost a second off him at the moment. Oh, Rob Lundgren's on the grass on the exit of Paddock Hill Bend, back on into Druids. Hello everyone watching in the YouTube chat and the Facebook chat, do say hello. I don't bite. Any questions or any comments on the series, please let me know. This is only... Oh, Tom Jacobs clips the gravel. Oh, that's a big hit into the wall. That's just how quickly things can turn around in this car. It's got so much mechanical grip and it's always stuck to the road, but you put a wheel on the grass and it is completely around. Here is Morgan in the Team Jane Fonda car. His teammate Derek Robb is on track now as well. Good to see Derek out there. 4D in the chat, good to see you, mate. Hope you're well, buddy. I do like that livery, huge fan of that. We may have a race in the dark here. I wasn't expecting it to be this dark in this session. Rob Lundgren's off again. What's happened to Rob there? Let's have a quick check back. Is he going to clip the grass on the exit maybe? So easy to do in this car. You try and smooth it out. Oh, whoa, 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 he's had some sort of wheel failure there. I was going to say it was stuck turning left on the infield. I didn't know whether he pulled it over, but yeah, something's definitely gone wrong with his wheel there, and it's still sat there. That's a real shame, as Josh Rayfield goes fastest for Team Netcode. He's in a bit of a battle there. He's got Matt Draycott just in front of him, who's still chasing down Jack Werrell. Matt and Jack have been getting on like a house on fire over these past few weeks, and it's great to see. Jack's a cracking lad as well, really good commentator. We've been playing a lot of DCS together, Digital Combat Simulator, messing about with Dan McCauley as well, doing air shows and things. As you do. Oh, Jack Jack brake checks him, and then Matt gets a hit off Josh Rayfield as well. Look at the bounce around Westfield, it's amazing. We've had a bit of footage sent to us as well over the course of the week of the car with all four wheels off the ground as well. Oh, Matt's put it in the wall. And it looks like they're going to go back out again. That is Dave Waldock in the pit lane there in the Might Just Fit car. We've got 10 cars qualified at the moment. Derek Robb just getting used to it in VR, he said. Seems to be going round all right at the moment. Dean Tim's been looking forward to this one. Thank you, mate. This is just the second pre-season test. Michael Blake goes fourth fastest just now. Lambert is just ahead of Steve Burke as well. Ben in seventh at the moment. Good pace from Ben. Oh, he's gone a bit deep into Druids there. He's then got Michael Blake and Jack Werrell down his inside. Do I think there's a 138? Yeah, for sure. Definitely. As it goes darker and the track conditions get cooler now, it's really, really going to pick up. We'll chuck the weather on the left-hand side. The bottom one is the track temperature. It's actually 27 degrees Celsius. Oh, he's gone wide. There is Ben. Onto the gravel and onto the grass, then back on the circuit. Morgan Butler coming back out of the pits. Into turn one and the number 16 Team Jane Fonda car. Dave Waldock is now out on track. Dave has been quick in these pre-season tests as well. Him and Michael Blake are really going to be a force to be reckoned with this season, I think. Tom Jacobs goes up to the top for Nodaphone. The best performances we saw from these teams are actually Nodaphone, Team Netcode, and Might Just Fit. So fingers crossed we can see those guys all battle it out near the top. There it is, bouncing around. Dave chucks it through Westfield. Dennis Melcher should be going up there once again very soon. He's been very, very quick in every single session we've done. He hasn't finished any lower than second so far. And thank you very much, Fordy. It was quite interesting to work on Assetto Corsa Competizione. Turns out Dave Perrell's a really good commentator as well. We had a really good laugh together. And to be fair, we just chucked the stream on and got on with it. We did prepare everything beforehand and just make sure the event was very well managed, though. I have to give them that. It was fantastic. Really enjoyed it. So here's Matt Draycott then. Not got a lap in yet. Dave Waldock just put a lap in into 11th place. A 1:47.99. So nearly 9 seconds off the pace at the moment. But the pace will gradually improve for these guys. It's a difficult car for them to get used to again, especially in different conditions from last time. It's certainly going to be a fun season. Really, really excited for this. And like I say, Thursday, the first round, 7:45 PM on Chaz Draycott Media on YouTube and on Facebook as well. We are going to go live on both for the whole championship. We have 10 race meetings. Let me grab you the calendar for you. We'll just bring that up on screen. 2 seconds. Here you go. So that's the calendar. Then we start, obviously, on Thursday on the 28th of May at Brands Hatch. Then we have Donington Park, the Grand Prix circuit, on the 4th of June. 11th of June, we have Silverstone International, the fantastic old international layout, which I can't wait to see these cars bounce around, as I'm sure they will. And then a week later, we go to Alton Park on the 18th of June. Every round after that then is 2 weeks apart. We've got the first 4 in a row, and then it's 2 weeks apart for after that. So Snetterton on the 2nd of July. Donington, we go back for the national layout on the 16th. We go to Brands Indy on the 30th of July, which is bound to be an amazing meeting. And then we finish under lights as well at Silverstone on the 13th of August. And we've been doing a lot of testing in terms of the lighting for that final round at Silverstone, and it's going to be just as pretty as this. We are going to get, though, a race similar to that tonight. The lights of the cars will surely come on very, very soon. And before you know it, I mean, we've still got 50 minutes of this session to go. It's going to be 9 o'clock when the race gets started, once this qualifying session is over. And I think we're going to have a race under lights, which will be very interesting to watch. Melchert's gone off at Sheen Curve. Here's Rob Lundgren. Going around Surtees towards Pilgrim's Drop. He has Dave Waldock just behind him. We'll go on the gearbox cam and have a look back. You can see the sun setting in the background, which is lovely. Towards Hawthorne. Oh, look at the speed that Dave manages to carry there over Rob. See how Steve Burke's getting on. Oh, Steve's actually just gone off track as well, apparently. Let's see what's happened here. Goes into Paddock Hill. Oh, a little bit too hot. I think he just pulls the car over after that. Yeah, he does. Oh, and just kisses the wall as well. He's back out on track though. But Tom Jacobs currently fastest at the moment, and it'd be rude not to bring him in, to be honest. Oh, there you go. There's the moment that he's just dropped it as well. Tom joins us in the booth. How are you finding it, mate? The conditions are different to last time, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a lot cooler. The car's got a bit more grip, to be honest. I think tonight there might be a 38 in it, because my optimals are 39 dead now.
Okay, so the time is still there.
It together. Yeah, the time's definitely there. It's just stringing it all together, but the tracks are definitely more grippy, and the car's got a bit more grunt, so
yeah, certainly. It certainly looks like everyone's having a good laugh with it. It's quite interesting to see the improvements on some of these guys. I mean, Andy Fox up to third. Ben Lambert was last time. He was about 3 or 4 seconds off the pace, but he's only just over a second slower. So it seems that some of these guys have really stepped their game up since last time, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think the boys have been practicing during the week, so me and Dennis have got our work cut out from last time. But Matty and Dennis are still quite close as well. I mean, I'm only about a tenth of a second ahead of everyone, so we'll just have to keep pushing.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the top 5 at the moment are within 2/10 of each other, so It's incredibly close there. The top 10 just over a second. I mean, the whole field's only 2.2 seconds as well, so it is great how close it is over a lap that's nearly 2 minutes. I mean, it's 1 minute 40 usually, isn't it, an average lap? So it's going to be very competitive. The race may be semi under lights, just like the Silverstone finale will be, which will be interesting. Do you reckon that's going to add a bit more spice to things, or is it going to just keep it nice and interesting?
Yeah, it'll be interesting, won't it? I think it'll be just after Super Tours, and we all went to like night racing and stuff. So yeah, I think it'll make it quite a little bit more interesting. You have to keep looking at your braking points a lot more. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Smashing. Well, I'll pass you back down, mate. But good luck for the rest of it, and we'll see you later on.
Cheers, mate.
So Tom Jacobs currently fastest at the moment then for Vodafone. Here's Rob Lundgren, Dave Waldock and Matt Draycott down the straight into Paddock Hill Bend. The spec map on that, I really do like that. iRacing doesn't really like gradients, so it's a bit blocky down the side where it fades to black, but it's a genuine livery as well. That's what they actually had on the car in 1990. I believe they had it in 98 as well, and 99. It looked better on the Laguna than it does on the Jetta, let me tell you that for free. But Josh Rayfield, second fastest at the moment, 1:39.47. That's really impressive from Josh. And he's been putting a lot of time into getting used to how this car behaves. He does like to completely send it around a lap. It's going to be exciting to see whether he can continue the pace over the course of the season, and that's the thing. It may be a case of just send it at the scenery at the moment for these boys, but over the course of the championship, you have to think about the points and play it safe. Looks like Rob Lundgren is really trying to focus. He's actually jumped down into a separate channel in the Discord just to get his head down a little bit and crack on. He is 14th at the moment, 2.1 seconds off the pace. He's half a second off Chris Coughlin in the number 79 independent car. Melchett still 4th with Draycott 5th. Andy Fox, he's really impressed me at the moment. He's doing a smashing job in the dodgy MOT car. His teammate Niall Crowther is 8th. As you can see on the left hand side, hopefully it's nice and clear for you all, but on the left hand side we have coloured strips. So the guys that are in teams together, the yellow ones are independents, as Derek Robb goes 13th. Only 1.17 seconds off the pace, but wow, what a jump through turn 1 that was. And it's very close throughout this whole field at the moment. It's really exciting. Dave Waldock improved slightly there up to 9th. But I'm strangely confused by how some of these guys are struggling at the moment. We've got a very mixed up grid compared to what we had at the last test, so certainly going to be a bit of a mixed field throughout the championship if this carries on. We'll drag Mr. Andy Fox in now just to have a quick chat with him. Andy, no offence or anything, but are you surprised to be that high up at the moment?
Never, Chaz. Never.
I love it.
Always to be expected.
I'm very impressed, to be honest, because I mean, a couple of you guys have definitely picked up the pace since the last test that we did just a few days ago. What have you changed? Has anything in particular been improved on? Just practice. Yeah?
Just getting used to the car, pure and simple. Been driving it in some of the official races as well, and just getting used to driving it, and it's made a big difference, really, to be honest.
Well, I was told by Jack Werrell the other day that he saw you in an official race as well, and he's been doing a few. So it's great that it gets you guys involved in the official community as well on iRacing, getting some of them races under your belts. What's been the hardest thing to learn about this car, do you reckon?
Trying to stop the thing from bouncing all over the place, to be honest. You've got to be so smooth on everything, because if you catch a curve or anything like that, you just lose so much time by it rattling around.
It's not got the chance to put the traction down, I suppose, has it? So it's
a
bit of a mad one.
But it's all good fun. I'm happy I'm over the moon with P3 at the moment, to be honest. So.
Yeah, it's great to see you up there, mate. I've only just realised as well, I'm sorry everybody on stream, but we've got 2 bits of music playing over each other because the intro music has restarted, so I'm just going to kick that off now. There it goes. Yeah, that's my bad for trying to be overly clever with OBS. But yeah, it's going to be a great race as well at the end of it. Don't forget. I mean, you've got a 15-minute sprint after this very long qualifying session, which we reckon will be under lights. How do you reckon? How do you reckon that's going to be to get on with?
Yeah, that's going to be definitely interesting. Not driven this one in the dark, so that'll be a new one.
Yeah, it's got pretty good headlights on it. I can tell you that much. I did a bit of testing at Silverstone at night for the finale, where we're going to have darkness, and yeah, that went well. So I reckon we'll be pretty fine.
I'll look forward to it then.
Good stuff.
Well, hope I can keep in this position by the time we get to it.
You never know. You never know. Like you said, always expect it. But good luck though, mate, and we will speak to you later on.
Yeah, no problem. Cheers, Chaz.
Cheers. Andy Fox there, and as you've heard, everybody, the key is practice, practice, practice. It was Tom Jacobs, Dennis Melcher and Matt Draycott, which were the 3 drivers that have been the quickest in most of the pre-season tests so far. But Andy Fox and Josh Rayfield really taking it to him. Josh is doing also a very, very good job for Team Netcode. Doesn't seem like we have his teammate Carl Jacquelet with us tonight, like I've said. So only 1 car missing from the grid. We still have a 15-car field. Steve Burke still trying to get some time out of the car. He's only a second off the pace as well. And bearing in mind that he's done 12 laps now. This is his 13th lap. He's only ever done 12 laps in this car ever. So he's pushing. And to be fair, Jacobs' time is very fast. But as he said, he reckons there's a 38 in it, so we'll have to see. Ben Lambert I'm quite impressed with. Doing only 1.1 seconds off the pace at the moment. He seems to be really pushing the car around. Into turn 1 they go, really chucking it. It's so easy to miss the apex there though. You try and brake that a little bit later, car just washes out wide as you try and get it turned in. If the front doesn't respond how you want it to, that's it. And Dennis Melcher goes top, there it is. Nearly 4 tenths quicker. And it's a 38.996. He's actually done a 38. He's managed to sneak it in there, great job. And the Ericsson Hittles driver must be over the moon with that one. He's not actually showing as in the Discord chat at the moment, I'm afraid. Oh, he's in one of the different channels, but he's got himself deafened and muted so no one can disturb him. I don't blame him. Hello, Jake. Good to see you, mate. It's not boring. It's good fun. Here's Draycott in 5th. In the Arena International car. Now, that livery is boring. I'll give you that, Jake. It looked great on the Laguna. It was one of my favourite race cars for a while, but not anymore. Jack Werrell is currently 6th. He's got Ben Lambert right in front of him there. We'll go on board as they go. Oh, there's contact, actually. And Ben Lambert has gone flying off the circuit on the outside. And into the barrier. He's going to jump back on the track though. Car wobbles about a bit as he tries to get all the dirt and rubbish off the tyres. Steve Burke's gone 5th fastest. Steve Burke half a second better than his best time before. Very well done to Steve. And he is now the fastest independent. Don't forget the little yellow strips on the left-hand side mean that they're independents, so Burke is just 2 thousandths ahead of Matt Draycott in the independents battle. And to be fair, Matt is someone that we've not spoken to this evening yet, so we'll drag him in. Matt, Steve just going 2 thousandths of a second quicker than you. How does that feel?
It's not. I mean, sorry, I'm not a woman. I can't multitask. It was always going to happen, really, wasn't it? Because one of us is a pretend racing driver and one of us is a real racing driver. So,
good point. Good point.
Trying to just get a lap together, really. Just people like Jack are just getting in the way.
Well, we spoke to Tom Jacobs before, who said that it's got a lot more grip around here in these cooler conditions with the light fading. But it's the fact that because of that grip, it's a bit harder to string a lap together because you feel like you can push it a bit more, and it goes sort of to the limits of the track, doesn't it? Very easily, like that.
Yeah.
Whoa. So,
yes, it does.
Oh, Steve's gone a little bit quicker as well, actually. Now you've got 18 thousandths of a second to try and gain on him, but it's still a tiny margin, and that's for the fastest independent as well. It seems like some of these guys have upped the game. I mean, Ben Lambert's really improved. He's in there only 1.4 seconds off the pace. And bearing in mind, that's a 38.9 from Dennis Melcher, so it's very close indeed.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's just all about... it's just the tyres. The tyres just... You've got 3 laps, and otherwise that's it, they're gone. So
yeah,
it's difficult to try and keep the grip on the first lap and without sliding it or bouncing it. or going off, one of the two.
Yeah, whichever you manage to do.
Yeah, so it's just difficult, man.
Well, in terms of other drivers that have improved as well, I mean, Andy Fox up to 5th place. He wasn't quite that high up in the other pre-season test. He says it's just been down to practice. He's been doing official races, so as you know as well, Jack Werrell's been doing the same. Seems to be helping him out a bit. Jack's not quite up there at the moment. He's only just behind, though. He's a couple of tenths off you. It seems like it's really mixing up the grid, though, every single time we come back, which is going to be interesting over the course of the championship, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Dennis is still the number one. Tom's quick, but I don't think he's got it. I don't think, nothing against Tom, obviously, but
You think Dennis is really going to round it
I
out?
think he's won championships in this car, hasn't he? So it'd be stupid not to put your money on him, really. But you know, it's one of them things.
Yeah, well, we shall.
I'm trying to push it, but
Well, I'll leave you with it though. But good luck for the rest of it, and obviously, good luck for the race later on if we don't speak to you.
yeah, cheers, thank you.
Matt Draycott there. Yes, he is my brother. We don't look anything alike. He's about 6 inches taller than me, and a bit heavier than me. I'm not going to say how much. Jack Werrell, though, is right behind him in terms of the leaderboard at the moment. Ben Lambert's doing a good job in 12th. And Michael Blake, by the way, has gone up to 3rd position with a 1 minute 39.47. He is 4 thousandths of a second quicker than Josh Rayfield, so it just shows you how close it is between these guys. Dave Waldock is currently 5th, just ahead of Andy Fox now. And there's been some awesome times. Don't forget, everybody, this is a large qualifying session that we've got going on for an actual sprint race at the end of this. It's not an official round of the championship, but the guys wanted us to put a race in just so they had a little bit more to look forward to as the session went to the end. Dave Waldock clips the grass. We're going to see a lot of guys do that, trust me. We've seen a lot of guys do it in the other test as well, and we're going to do it even more now. Derek Robb seems to have been in the pits for, well, about 6.5 minutes at the moment. Michael Blake's been in there for quite a while as well. Oh, Morgan's just done it as well. I told you we're going to see people do this. It's a carbon copy of the incident we've just seen ahead of him, and Morgan's going to pop it back to the pits. He does. It's Ben Lambert and Jack Werrell. Jack not doing Ben any favours. Steve Burke in there as well. 3 wide as they go down Pilgrim's Drop, and they just go past Josh Rayfield as well, who's in there. Oh, Jack makes contact with Ben. He's sideways into Steve. Oh, Steve's gone flying off into the barriers. That's a huge hit for Steve. And Ben somehow survives it. Jack is really pushing that car around, isn't he? Great chopper cam as well, actually. Some of the trees may get in the way from time to time, but it certainly looks good. Steve is still off the track after a large hit. Let's have another look at it. Oh, this is apparently Tom Jacobs going off the circuit. So they just go around Josh Rayfield. Steve comes over. Oh, Jack just goes over, hits Ben. And as Ben squares the car up, it pushes Steve off sideways, bang into the wall. And he's in motion as well. He's actually in a motion rig, so I'm not sure what sort of effect that would have had, but hopefully nothing bad. And yes, a sprint race, Jake. Yeah, I don't know if sprint is the word you can use. Rob Lundgren then. We've got the 2. Wow, look at that through Sheen curve. Amazing. Jumping the car through the air. We have Dennis Melcher, top of the pile in one of the Ericsson Hitters cars. And the other one, Rob Lundgren, propping up the table at the moment, unfortunately. Yeah, Ian, he has a VR and a motion rig. Yeah, he's got the full experiences, Steve. He's got an incredible bit of kit. He probably does have whiplash, to be honest. That was a massive, massive hit. It's quite scary how realistic these things can get. Here's Morgan Butler, currently rounding out the top 10. His teammate Derek Robb is in 13th position at the moment. Morgan really pushing the car over those curbs. Look at it go. Look at it. The beautiful Jetta. Honestly, in my time messing about with this car and watching people drive it, I've really come to appreciate it. Oh, Morgan on the brakes there for a second. Not quite sure why. The iRacing Shadow's doing its thing there. jogging or pace walking race? Nah. Not at all. These things are good fun. Here's Niall Crowther in the number 23 Dodgy MOT Jetta. Oh, we have a personal best from Chris Coughlin, who just moves up a place there ahead of Ben Lambert. 1.2 seconds covering the top 12 at the moment. 1.5 seconds covering the top 14. Pretty impressive, to be fair. Rob Lundgren as well, I believe, is just getting used to the car at the bottom of the order there. Wow, look at the bounce on board with that there from Chris. That was amazing as he puts it off the road. And he's going to go back to the pits as well. As you've seen, Matt Draycott only just behind Steve Burke, who's also 3 thousandths behind Andy Fox. Says that is a personal best for Dave Waldock, as well as Dennis Melchett going purple again, a 38.91. Puts him almost 4 tenths clear of Tom Jacobs in the Nodaphone car. What a great time from Dennis. He's really getting the job done here, and of course that has to be a clean lap because this is a qualifying session. It's not a practice session anymore. Well, Morgan apparently going off the track. Yeah, he just was a little bit wide out of there. He's chasing down Jack Werrell on track at the moment. Morgan pushing really hard through Sheen Curve. Does catch up with Jack quite a bit. He's got a very smooth line through there, actually. A nice run. The sun shining in the windscreen. Morgan has to get out of it a bit as he chases the back of Jack there. Jack really bouncing it around. Morgan's going to come through on his right. We've seen both of these boys involved in incidents over the course of this session. Are we going to see another one? No, Morgan is through. Oh, into paddock though. He's gone way too deep in there and Jack goes back through. The shadows really are doing their thing at that first corner, aren't they? We've got the two Might Just Fit cars at the moment in 3rd and 4th place. That is Dave Waldock in the number 7, and his teammate Michael Blake is in 4th. Josh Rayfield has... Oh, Josh has gone off big time, actually, at Paddock Hill Bend. Let's have a look at what happened here. He's chasing down Ben Lambert with Andy Fox behind him. Matt Draycott just in front of them. Really sends it in, hits the curb. Oh, he's thinking, oh, I've messed that lap up, I need to go out again. Puts it in the wall. Morgan's also just gone wide and gone off. Ahead of Jack Werrell. Steve Burke is back out on track, so the motion rig can't have chucked him over that much. Oh, actually, I tell you what, he goes up to 4th place. He splits the two Might Just Fit cars. And it's a very, very close set of times there in that midfield. That's incredible. Everywhere from 2nd to 8th. Within 3 tenths of a second of each other. That's quite amazing. So Steve Burke showing that he does have the pace as the fastest independent at the moment. And this is his first ever session in the car. He downloaded it just earlier. So it's good to see that he's getting the time out of it. We'll drag him in just very quickly. Steve, you're showing that you've got the pace here, mate. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm channeling, remembering how to drive this car when I drove my dad's. And yeah, it's all coming back to me.
Cracking. I imagine this one's got a little bit more poke and bounce around Brands. What do you make of the bouncing?
Oh, yeah, in the motion rig, it's making me feel a bit queasy, I'm not gonna lie. It's yeah, certainly the quickest way is to not bounce, but it's difficult to stop it from bouncing.
Yeah.
Yeah, tricky car, but I'm enjoying it. It's good.
It's quite a surprise considering how dull it sounds and looks in most forms. It is actually quite a hoot to drive because the mid-corner speed is bonkers, isn't it?
The mid-corner speed, yeah, is bonkers, and for a 2-ton barge, it's surprisingly controllable when it's sort of sideways around a corner.
Yeah, it's good to see all the guys sliding it down Paddock Hill Bend as well, as I'm sure you're going to right now.
Yeah. Yeah, excellent.
Well, what did you make of the... there was an incident before with Werrell and Lambert where you got speared off to the side, and I noticed that the car stayed in the gravel for a bit with the wheels pointing right. What went through... Well, how did that feel for one?
Yeah, I felt like I was going to get launched out of my window. The wheel spanned so hard that it disconnected the wheel, so I couldn't reset to the pits.
Oh, right, okay.
So yeah, hands away from the wheel for that one.
Yeah, I can imagine. Oh yeah, you are. He is in direct drive as well, by the way, everyone. He has got the full experience here. He's in VR with a motion rig, with a direct drive. So Steve has got the full shabam going on at the moment, and yeah, in moments like that.
I think it would probably cost less to buy a VW Jetta, go to Brands Hatch, and do a track day.
That's probably very true as well, actually, and not just a Jetta, but the actual race car version as well, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh well. But good to see you up there, mate. Fastest independent as well at the moment by
Excellent.
a good tenth and a bit. So, oh, flipping heck, that was. I imagine the motion rig nearly sent you over there. Wow. Well,
Yeah.
we'll leave you to the gradual. Oh, never mind. Matt Draycott's just got second fastest. So I'll let you crack on with the pace you need to now find. Sorry about that, mate. Commentator's curse.
Thanks, Chaz.
See you
Cheers,
soon, buddy.
mate. Bye.
Steve Burke, all-round good guy, and, well, absolute legend as well. He's got all the kit, like I say. But Matt Draycott, second fastest then, and to be fair, I said it was going to be a while until we spoke to him again, but, well, Matt, that must have been a right good lap, that. I bet you feel over the moon, don't you?
Yes, just like last week when I was there was a lot of swearing, there was a lot of ear deafening, but yeah, it was good.
What was the key thing you changed or managed to control? Was there anything that you know of that was different that time round?
Yeah, it was mainly I just tried to not hit the curbs, limit the bounce, and just keep it smooth. Really, it's all about trying to sort of keep them. It's like the MX-5s when you first start in iRacing. You just got to keep the momentum.
Yeah.
If you have to break halfway around a corner, that's all your time gone. So, yeah, it's one of them. We're gonna have a break, I think, for a minute.
I'm not surprised, but a 39.1, you're very close to doing 38s. Dennis Melchert's done a 38.89 as well now.
Yeah, no chance.
But even still, you know, I mean, it's not too
3
far off.
tenths? Are you mad?
Well, yeah, Dennis does have insane pace, but it's good to see you up there, though. I was just literally interviewing Steve as you did that and said, well, you're top independent, mate, so well done. And then just as I said that, you did that. So I said, I'm going to leave you
what
to...
did Steve do?
39.38.
Okay, 2 tenths quicker. Yeah, have that, Steve. Who's the pretend racing driver now?
Well, I'm going to leave that battle for you boys, but, you know, it's great to have that over the course of the season. Ben Lambert as well, actually, is within a second of that now. He's done a 39.8, so...
He's getting there. He's getting there, bless him.
Right, good improvement from Ben.
Yeah, just got to keep going, innit?
That's it.
For the last... I've done 23 laps now, and I think I've only actually done about 3 times ones properly. Let's have a look. I know I've done quite a few, actually. That's a lie. But like, there's like the last sort of the last 5 laps were 39.9s.
Yeah.
At the fastest. So.
Oh,
So it's just trying to string it together.
Tom's just on a 39.0, just to go a bit quicker there, but not by too much. But either way, you know, it's.
Can I stay in here?
It's the same
I don't
top
want to go
3.
back.
It's the same top 3 from last time, so that's always interesting. I'm sure you're going to get on it now, are you?
Yep.
Smashing. Well, good luck, and we'll see you later on.
Cheers.
And that is how quickly things can turn around here. Matt Draycott goes second. A couple of laps later from Tom Jacobs. He's down to third again. It's still Dennis Melchert at the top, though. He's just going to go back to the pit lane. Here is Matt trying to make the most of every lap. Derek Robb is back out on circuit behind those trees somewhere. Wait for it. There he is, on 2 wheels, naturally. In the Team Jane Fonda Honda, number 11. I think the number 11 looks really good in the old BTCC numbers font as well. Chris Coughlin just ahead of him in 13th position. 1.3 seconds off the pace. He has Niall Crowther in the dodgy MOT car in 12th. Morgan Butler is in 11th place. Derek Robb's Team Jane Fonda teammate. And Ben Lambert, well, like I just said to Matt, what an improvement from Ben as well. He was off the pace by a good 3 or 4 seconds at the last session and struggling to get any more time out of the car. He had quite a few incidents in the session, but he's done great at the moment. He's within a second of Dennis Melchert, which is a very, very good feat as well. And the practice paying off. Just ahead of him then, 9th place at the moment, Jack Werrell, who's trying to warm up the tyres or shred them. I'm not quite sure what, but we'll see. Josh Rayfield is now in 8th place after being second for so long in that practice session earlier. He's on a 39.47. Michael Blake 7th, who we just saw there chasing Ben Lambert. Andy Fox, who's just gone past him, in the number 21. Niall Crowther's teammate is in 6th. Then your top 5, then Steve Burke in the number 51 independent car. Only just under half a second off the pace at the moment, doing a fine job. Dave Waldock, don't forget by the way, it is Steve Burke's first ever session in the car. Dave Waldock 4th for Might Just Fit, he's been quick all along as well. And then we have Matt Draycott, of course, 3rd. Tom Jacobs and Dennis Melcher, the top 2. Once again, these guys are 1 for 1 at the moment in terms of who ended up fastest in these sessions. Dennis, I think, won by a 10th or so last time in the very, very first test that we did. Tom Jacobs was 8 thousandths of a second faster than him, so whether we see more of the close battle in between these guys is yet to be seen. People are expecting them to have the edge over the whole championship, especially in the sprint races, obviously qualifying on pole. The reverse grid races will be introduced for the feature race, so I think we're going to have some pretty interesting reverse grids for the second part of each race evening that we have in the championship. Don't forget, we have 4 rounds back-to-back starting from Thursday. So we have the first meeting then, and then every week after that, for 4 weeks, we have the next few rounds, and then it's every 2 weeks from then on. An 8-race meeting championship, 16 races, 8 sprint races, 8 feature races. Can't wait. Really, really going to be an exciting one. And I mean, the action from these guys already, even though this is just a sort of practice or qualifying session, which is all we've seen them do in the official tests so far. I'm just going to have a look at Jack Werrell, by the way, chasing his teammate. I think Tom's given him a few pointers. They've been working very well together, by the way, these pair. Yeah, all the action we've seen so far has only been in terms of like hot lap sessions, practice and qualifying. So Dave Waldock, by the way, there he goes. Dave Waldock goes second fastest, within a 10th of Dennis Melcher, so great time from him. The Might Just Fit cars are now 2nd and 7th at the moment. Cracking from those boys. Really, really impressed. But yeah, when we get these guys in a racing scenario, in a proper race session, I should say, I imagine we're going to have a right good laugh with it and see some great action. Hopefully not too many incidents. These cars do have a bit of a tendency to hop around a bit if they bang wheels with one another. I think we're going to get that anyway, because it's going to be close racing no matter what. Only things that are considered intentional will be looked at and penalised, or things that were avoidable. But if there is an incident, for example, where someone goes down the inside, someone doesn't leave them in the room, then it's going to be deemed their fault. We don't really have a protest system in place. It is kept to be, well, it's intended to be a fun championship. This is Andy Fox, currently in 6th at the moment. He was up in 3rd position earlier, but Matt Draycott, Steve Burke, Dave Waldock have all gone quicker since then. But Andy currently doing everything he can do in the Volkswagen Jetta for Dodge MOT. His teammate Niall Crowther is 12th at the moment. We still have then 18 minutes of this session to go before the guys get into qualifying. That was Josh Rayfield just going past there, absolutely on it in the Team Netcode car. Into turn 1, he's 8th at the moment as Draycott goes back up to 4th position. Oh no, sorry, Draycott was already in 4th. It's Michael Blake that's gone up there. He's now 5th, splitting the 2 lead independents. Only 0.3 of a second off the pace. And a great time from Michael there. Really does mix up this grid, doesn't it? We've not got any teammates together, any teams really running away with it, except, I'd say, for these 2 cars that you see on screen now. The 2 Might Just Fit Vauxhall replicas of Michael Blake and Dave Waldock. And wow, Tom Jacobs goes fastest at 38.85. Just under half a 10th of a second faster than Dennis Melcher, and he's going to go straight back in the pits to go and get some fresh rubber. And Jack Werrell goes up into 6th place, half a second off. Some brilliant times coming in here from these guys then, as Josh Rayfield flings it through Westfield onto the grass. There's a bit of lawn mowing there. He's going to just get out of the way of Steve Burke. He goes through. Or does he? Wow. Sideways, sideways, sideways through there. Very, very sideways indeed. There we go. Just changed Steve's name. I've got him down as Stephen Burke, but I know he likes to be called Steve, so we'll pop that on there for him. So Dennis Melchett now second in the Ericsson Hitters Volvo thing. Waldock third. I've been told these boys are going to be the quick ones. The three that we've got at the top. Draycott fourth, though, fastest independent at the moment. A couple of places ahead of Steve Burke. Don't forget, the independents are highlighted with the yellow strips on the left-hand side. It's quite an even spread at the moment. 2 cars between all of them. Chris Coughlin is in 13th position at the moment in the number 79 car. But apart from Rob Lundgren, I mean, the whole field is separated by 1.6 seconds, which is really, really close. And it is a difficult car to get lap times out of, trust me. It may look like, oh, it's easy to drive, you can just turn it in and put as much lock on as you want and it goes round, as Chris is showing us there, but honestly, to keep the momentum and really get the speed out of this car in mid-corner, it's not easy. Really not easy at all. And I tell you what, just as he goes around there, we'll have a quick word with Chris Coughlin. Chris, not the most ideal session so far, but how are you finding the car and the conditions?
I've completely forgotten how to drive it. Sorry about that.
It's all good, mate, all good. But, I mean, the field is still very close overall. You know, there's not much separating everybody. Do you reckon that when it comes to a race that it's going to be a bit of a different story and it's going to be even closer, or a bit more spread apart?
I'm not sure. Trying to read everyone, there's definitely a front bunch. And then the middle gaggle will be tight for sure. I'm not sure how the teams are going to find it with Matt and myself and Stephen that mixing right in amongst them. I don't know if their team play will come into it yet. No one's really mentioned team support, but I can see it. I can see it riling a few people and it getting a bit nudgy in the middle. So yeah, maybe I'm better off being a bit slow.
Well, you never know. It's going to be interesting to see how you independents get on, like you say, mate. It's not won until the last lap anyway, so sure we're going to see some great battles over the course of the season. We're into the last 15 minutes of qualifying now, as Ian Fox has just pointed out in the chat, so I'll leave you on to try and improve the times, and I'll speak to you later.
Cheers, buddy. Speak to you in a bit.
That was Chris Coughlin there in the Matt Neal-esque car. Here's Derek Robb just out on the track at the moment, 14th position. I really do like that Honda livery. It does work even on the Jetta as well, I must say. It's a great car to paint because there's so much surface area at the side of it. Even still, I struggle to get that Jetta logo on it, trust me. Because that livery did not really accommodate the Honda logo on that car very well either at the time, so luckily the word Jetta is pretty recognisable. Down the side. Well, Tom Jacobs just in front there is the fastest at the moment into the last 15 minutes of qualifying. He is the one that has got everything to lose at this point. We do have a sprint race at the end of this though. A 15-minute sprint race starting around 9 o'clock. And then we'll have the guys in for some interviews at the end. We've got Matt Draycott off the track through Westfield. That's Dave Waldock just going past with his teammate Michael Blake in there as well. And Rob Lundgren, sorry, it wasn't Rob Lundgren, it was Dennis Melchett. Just chasing them down. Some of the fastest guys in the field here all together. Great to see the two might just fit cars together on track. You can look at all the outlaps that people are doing at the moment on the left-hand side. Hello everybody in the Facebook chat, by the way. I do have that open, so if you are there, please do say hello. Give us a wave. Give us a wave in the YouTube chat as well, everybody. Bang the wave emojis in there. Hope you're enjoying the stream so far. Hope you're enjoying the championship so far. The coverage, I feel, has been pretty good. Hope you like the overlay and how all the imagery and everything works. It's taken a while to get everything perfected, but I think we're there. I think it looks quite nice. And the whole championship will be broadcast on Chaz Draycott Media. As you can see at the bottom, round 1, the first round of the championship is on Thursday, and I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I mean, I was excited enough about tonight. Trust me, ask Beth. I've been on about it all day. But Thursday, it's going to be even more exciting. The first official round of the championship. Wow, Niall launches it down the hill. He's got Ben Lambert just in front of him there. Into Druids they go. Ben chucks the car in on the brakes. Really chucks the car in on the brakes. And that's the thing about this, you know, you can throw this car around. Ben is currently faster than Niall at the moment. Little hint for you, Ian, if you do colon, then the word wave, and then another colon after it, it'll do it for you. There you go, mate. Just like this. Tell you what, I'll space it out. There you go, if you do that, without the spaces. Boom. Jack Werrell joins us. Hello, mate. I'll tell you what. I always say that, actually, before I interview people. I always say, oh, I'll tell you what, we'll drag him in. But we will do. We'll drag Jack in for a quick chat. How are we doing, mate?
Not too bad, thanks, mate. Just getting used to the car again. I've lost a bit of pace since last week, but I'm picking it up again.
I think, to be honest with you, mate, it's everyone else picking up the pace, because it seems like a lot of these guys have really turned the taps on with some of this pace. I mean, Tom's just done a 38.8. Dennis has done a 38.8, and then Matt's done a 38.9 and gone third again, just as we've said that. So, some incredible times on the board. We saw you running with Tom a moment ago as well. How's that been?
It's been alright. Starting to build a little bit of trust in between us now. We're getting used to driving sort of door to door and nose to tail, which is good, and just sort of looking forward to the season starting.
Well, I'm just saying then just how excited I am for it. I really cannot wait to get this underway. It must install a bit more confidence with you, though. You know, 2 cars in the top 6. The only other guys that have managed that are the Might Just Fit boys of Dave Waldock and Michael Blake at the moment. Do you think that it's going to be a bit of a rivalry between you boys? We've not got Carl Jackalette tonight with us, so we know that Carl was quick last time round as well. Maybe the Team Netcode wants to think about. What do you reckon?
I'm guessing throughout the season it will be a 3-way battle for the sort of teams championship. And we also had some issues with emissions at the Volkswagen factory, but I think we've got that sorted now. So we're ready for a full season of battling.
Well, there's some great battles going on, even on track in just this session. I mean, there's been a bit of contact earlier on, but you boys have all reined it in a little bit. I just think it's going to be a great championship. You know, the car is quite easy to drive. It's just trying to extract the time out of it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's rewarding, and you can really sort of use all the track with it. Just don't overdrive it, because as soon as you overdrive it, you'll end up in a wall on your roof or whatever else the Jetta can get at, whatever other angle we've decided to exploit. I know I've ended up on my side more than my roof, which is something you never normally see in iRacing.
Interesting.
But then when you're on 2 wheels for most of the circuit, it's really no surprise.
Yeah, I was going to say, this car does like to hop curbs and bounce around, as you obviously showed us in the week as well with some of the footage from the official races you were doing. Talk to me about Andy Fox. I mean, Andy was up there before. He slipped a little bit down now as some of the guys have got quicker laps in, but he's definitely an improvement on last week. Do you reckon that it is the official races he's done? He said he's been practicing.
Yeah, it definitely is. I hopped in a race, just a random online race with him. Not like we didn't intend to meet. We just ended up having a little bit of a race. We finished quite close. I think I had damage, and I'm pretty sure Andy did as well. But we were really close. So it just shows that it's such an adaptive car, but quite a leveling car as well. So I'm not the quickest guy in the world by a long chalk, but I'm keeping up with a couple of the quick guys. So it's nice to see that it's going to evolve into a real close championship, and I'm looking forward to, well, the entire season.
Yeah, Ben Lambert, another one that we're looking at now as well, is another guy that's improved. He's not really got much experience on iRacing. You know, he does the odd laps here and there. He does a couple of F3 races that I know he's won in. But, I mean, he won't mind me saying that it's usually sort of in the lower ranks of iRacing, you know, lower I rating and safety rating. But, I mean, top 10 at the moment ahead of the likes of Morgan Butler, Chris Coughlin, Niall Crowther. He's certainly turned his taps on this week, and fingers crossed he can do it in the races, eh?
Yeah, definitely. There's going to be some crazy battles, and the sprint race tonight is just a taste of what's going to happen. We've been chatting in the Discord chat all night, however many people are in, all 15 of us, I think. Yeah. So it's shaping up to be a good sprint race tonight, and then the start of the season. I've got a feeling it'll be sort of controlled madness.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. It should be good to watch either way. The coverage so far has been pretty decent, to be fair, if I do not say so myself. But no, it's great to watch these cars just get sent around. To be honest, they're just nice to. They're easy on the eye after a while, to be honest, in these liveries. So it's going to be a lovely, lovely watch. But I'll let you go, mate. I'll chuck you back in. But
Thank you very
good
much.
luck in the sprint race, which hasn't got long left to before it gets started up.
No, only 6 minutes. So thank you very much, and I'll do my best.
Good lad. See you in a bit.
You know it.
My co-commentator and very good friend Jack Werrell there. Very talented commentator and not a bad driver as well, it seems, as Steve Burke has gone off the circuit. Here's Dennis Melcher, and he will be wanting to get that final time in at the end of this session while the light is fading to try and beat Tom Jacobs. You can see the light is very dull on track now. The shadows are all over the place, admittedly. Thank you, iRacing. But I reckon we're going to see headlights from these cars soon. Definitely. We're getting into sunset conditions. Look at the bounce there around Surtees. That's what you want to avoid. Really, really what you need to avoid in these cars. We're just going to have a look at Josh Rayfield, who's been off track. It's turn 1 again. Too much curb. It's going to send the car out wide. Give him an off track. Oh, Ben Lambert actually lost it in front of him. Wow, that's a massive hit. And the car goes over. That was a humongous accident. Can we get a better camera on that? No, we can't, because Brands Hatch. That was a humongous hit. We'll see it again from an outside view. So just in front, Ben Lambert clips the gravel, and it's only when you touch it a tiny bit that it loses it. Josh gets sent sideways into the wall, car bounces over. Wow. Massive hit. Luckily it's only sim racing, he doesn't have to pay for the car or hurt his back or anything like that. Here's Rob Lundgren, who's not having the easiest ride at the moment by the look of it. His teammate's right up there at the top of the order, but the Swede in the Volvo, as we're expecting a Rickard Rydell performance at the moment, has been more Tommy Rustad. He's only 2.1 seconds off the pace. He's half a second off Derek Robb. I think it's just getting used to the car for Rob. I don't think he's raced this car before, so again, it's one to get used to. Morgan Butler's gone off the circuit. He's had a bit of a run wide at Westfield. Is he going to put it wide at Sheen Curve? Oh, sends it in. Yeah, it bounces like mad through there. And off it goes. Oh, he's in the wall again now as well. We'll bring him in for a quick chat, actually. Morgan, it seems to have been a bit of a frustrating session so far. A lot of bouncing around and bit of contact here and there. I mean, just outside the top 10 at the moment, but how are you feeling overall about it so far?
Not great, I'll be honest. I haven't really, since I last drove it, I think, a week and a half ago, all I've really driven since is Formula cars with a lot of downforce. So going from that to this is a bit of a shock, really. Yeah, I can imagine especially the bouncing and the mechanical grip is obviously very different in these things too. Wow, that's a big jump. In terms of the downforce effect against mechanical grip, it's a bit of a different feeling, isn't it? Even in a sim, you can tell the difference when you're driving the car, can't you? Massively. I was driving the 2.0 around Monza, doing some officials there, and to go from driving that and being able to actually trust that the car's going to stick when I send it into a corner, to then driving this, which I'm just not really that confident with, is a bit of a surprise. Like, I can't really drive the GT3 cars all that well because they don't have much downforce. To go from that, so to even be able to struggle in that, to then drive this, which has literally nothing, is a bit difficult. Yeah, indeed. We've just seen the headlights come on as well, so we are going to have a race under lights, which is going to be brilliant. Only a few minutes left of the session. I'll leave you to it, mate, for this next hot lap, and good luck in the race ahead. Morgan Butler there in Team Jane Fonda. Lord Hedge joins us in the chat. Ben Lambert says, I am wet. I'm not surprised, mate. You're doing really well, buddy. Top 10 at the moment. 3rd place independent. Wow, Morgan's sending it over there. How are you doing, Hedge? Good to see you, mate. I hope you're here for the race because this is going to be brilliant, brilliant fun. The first race, not of the championship. It's not an official race. You will see at the bottom. Round 1 is on Thursday night from 7:45 PM on Chaz Draycott Media. That'll be on Facebook and on YouTube, as tonight is as well. And we have two races, a sprint race, 15 minutes, and then a 25-minute feature race with a mandatory stop after that. I am so excited. It's going to be amazing fun. These cars
They're not the easiest to drive and get fast lap times out of. Trust me, you've got to be so smooth. You can see Matt there just going down the hill. He's the fastest independent on the left-hand side at the moment. The independents are designated with the yellow strips. The top 4 at the moment, only just over 1/10 of a second apart. It's so close. Tom Jacobs fastest as things stand. Dennis Melcher second in the number 88 Ericsson Hittles machine. And after the other pre-season tests, we were expecting Dennis to have a bit of a walk away with the championship. Some of the other drivers have said the same. Across the line he goes. Does he improve? Doesn't look like it. Just over a minute. Good to see it, Hedge. Good to see it, mate. I do love the Jetta. I have really fallen back in love with it since starting this championship. And it's just going to be very exciting to get it underway, isn't it? It's going to be really good fun. We do accept entries partway through the season, everybody, but we currently have... it's a 16-car grid with some wild cards that are invitation only that are booked up for the championship. We do have a reserve list just in case any of these guys do need to drop out for the remainder of the championship. However, it's currently a 7-car list at the moment, so almost half the field again on the reserve list. I'm not sure. These guys do all seem very committed to it as well, so I'm not sure if we will get them. So apologies for that, but do keep your eye out because, I mean, just based on the reception this has received already, I do plan on doing a second season. The spaces were very much in demand, and we've got a great grid. I mean, everybody is in the same Discord channel, all having a good laugh. Well, Rob Lundgren's actually in his own channel just trying to crack on and get some better times in. He's just learning the car a little bit at the moment. Here he is in the Ericsson Hittles machine. Yeah, I remember the World League Sim Racing Touring cars. It's one to watch with Dennis, isn't it? I mean, we've said to everybody how quick he is. Dave Waldock as well, we know, is very fast. Tom Jacobs and Matt Draycott, though, hadn't really raced the car before now, so they've been the surprises so far. Andy Fox has really turned up his game since last time. Him and Niall were languishing down sort of 13th and 15th, I think, last time. But yeah, they've done a smashing job in turning that around. Ben Lambert as well. It's been a great improvement. He's 11th so far. Morgan Butler has improved and just gone into the top 10. He's just overtaken Ben Lambert with a time of 1:39.54. So there's only 4 guys at the moment that aren't in the sub 1 minute 40 mark, which, I mean, 1 minute 40 is still pretty quick in this car. So to see that the whole field pretty much, I mean, 3/4 of it, nearly 3/4, is under that sort of time is very impressive. So got some close stuff as qualifying is now over. So some of these guys will be just finishing up their laps. Ah, okay. I didn't realise Lundgren had raced the car. I don't know really much of his experience in it. Most laps in the session looks like it's 35 by Niall Crowther. Niall Crowther, I'll get his name right. It's one of my best mates and I can't even say his name. Josh Rayfield's gone off the circuit. He hasn't improved. And Dave Waldock crosses the line. He doesn't improve either. So Ben Lambert is going to be the last car to round this out. And I tell you what, I'm almost tingling with excitement for this to get going. Oh, Ben's binned it at the last corner. He's put it off the circuit. So he's not going to get the time that he wanted. He's not going to get a clean lap. But he's going to round out the session then. And the very first broadcasted race, and the very first race ever done actually, in the British Boring Car Championship, is minutes away. Minutes away, everybody. So please do stay tuned in. You are going to absolutely love it. Ian Fox saying this should be comedy. I hope it's very funny to watch, but at the same time, I hope we don't see too much chaos. I'm really hoping for a nice, clean race. We'll get the grid in just a moment then. And Tom Jacobs is going to be the car that takes pole position. He's done a great job. Him and Dennis Melcher were 1 for 1 after the first pre-season test that we did, combined with the little session that they put up for the sort of post-team draw. I can't wait. So here we go then. Tom Jacobs, pole position for Nodaphone with Dennis Melcher. Wow, those numbers are skewed a lot more, aren't they? Dennis Melcher alongside him on the front row. Then we have Matt Draycott and Dave Waldock, Michael Blake and Jack Werrell, Steve Burke, second independent, just ahead of Andy Fox in 8th place with Josh Rayfield 9th, Morgan Butler in 10th. Then it's Ben Lambert in 11th with Niall Crowther in 12th, followed by Chris Coughlin, Derek Robb, and Rob Lundgren. So who's ready? Who's ready? Everybody, are you ready? Are you ready for what's something that doesn't quite look like British Touring Car Championship from 1999? You can see the Fords and the Hondas on the right. You can see the Volvo and the Nissan on the front row. Brake early, turn in early, power back on early. Good strategy that, Hedge. Good strategy. I'm almost clawing at my desk with excitement, honestly. People would look at 15 diesel racing cars on the grid and go, oh god, that's boring. But the last car lines up on the grid then. And here we go. The very first ever broadcasted race in the British Boring Car Championship on Chaz Draycott Media. In pre-season test 2 is away, and look at all the smoke, and it's not diesel smoke, it's tyre smoke. Matt Draycott gets a really good launch, and he's got past Tom Jacobs, who's had a really slow start, and Dennis Melchett takes the race lead just behind. Michael Blake has lost out to Jack Werrell, who's up into 4th position. It's a bit side-by-side further back. That's Morgan Butler and Ben Lambert. Niall Crowther has got ahead of Rob Lundgren, and Matt Draycott's got down the inside into the lead. No, the two Vodafone cars have hit each other. Tom Jacobs and Jack Werrell. Oh, Morgan Butler's around. Andy Fox is over on his roof, but Miss Matt Draycott, the independent that leads the race at the moment, from Dennis Melchett, Michael Blake, Steve Burke's 4th. Dave Waldock is 5th with Josh Rayfield right behind him. And an incredible start from Matt Draycott sees him lead the race. I can't believe it. He's out of Surtees. He's got Dennis Melchett just behind. Let's have a quick look then at what happened with Morgan Butler and these boys at the top of the hill. Tom Jacobs and Josh Rayfield. Andy Fox got a hit, you know, from... Andy Fox got side-by-side contact with Josh Rayfield. That's what put him around. And then the wheels, like we said, they do wheel bang quite a lot, these cars. Oh, there's contact in the background as well. That's Ben Lambert getting involved. Dave Waldock and Josh Rayfield in there too. Bit of door-to-door stuff. They're still side-by-side now. Dennis Melchett has retaken the race lead from Matt Draycott. I want to just have a look back how he's done that. He's probably just done it down the... Yeah, he's just done it down the straight, and as they go up towards Hawthorne, he's just going to get the move done nice and cleanly. Steve Burke's gone off the track as we watch it live. Just have a look. Michael Blake has dropped right down. Oh, I think Michael might have got a slow down. Morgan Butler's off the circuit again, but Dennis Melchett then, after lap 1, leads the race. Matt Draycott is in 2nd position. Steve Burke just behind him. They're both in the independence class as well. So they're going to really be going out. Look at that there behind. Is that behind Dave Waldock? It is. Dave Waldock, Rob Lundgren, and Niall Crowther right together. Rob's on the inside. Oh, the door-to-door. Lundgren is completely sideways, and Niall Crowther's going to thread the needle through the middle. Niall Crowther, what a move, sunshine. Up into 6th position as they go up towards Druids. Beautiful stuff. Waldock and Lundgren still side by side. The number 7 might just fit car goes around the outside of the Ericsson Hills machine. Tom Jacobs is just behind there. He's going to want to make up more places. He was fastest and on pole. Had a horrible start, then an incident with his teammate at turn 2. Put him down the order. He's going to go down the inside of Lundgren now. Keeps it to the inside. Nearly a bit of contact. There is a touch. Lundgren sideways. Tom helps him back out, straightens him up, and he's fine. Just behind them, though, Derek Robb is going to be watching in the Team Jane Fonda machine. This is just getting under lights now as well. Oh, Morgan Butler's apparently had an issue. Yeah, Morgan's gone back to the pits. Andy Fox and Chris Coughlin just coming back out as well. There's no damage in this series as well, so they don't need to worry about that. But Dennis Melchett leads the race then. Matt Draycott is there in 2nd in the Arena International car. And it's Steve Burke just behind Josh Rayfield 4th. And it's close here behind Rob Lundgren with Tom Jacobs, Derek Robb and Jack Werrell involved as well. Look at this. The 4 of them. Lundgren flings it over the curb on 2 wheels. Derek Robb's just lost out. Oh, Matt Draycott's off. Matt's had an issue as these guys all come past. Matt's lost out now and he's down to 8th place. He was leading partway around lap 1. After a few corners he took the race lead. Morgan Butler is in the pit lane. Andy Fox has just come out the pits as well. Morgan, though, still in the pits, unfortunately. Not quite sure what happened to him. Let's have a little look. He's just on his own here. Gets the car turned in. Oh, he's gone a bit too deep. I think he's just pulled it over in frustration, to be honest. He wasn't too pleased before. So Ben Lambert, I tell you what, Ben's up to 4th position at the moment. This is how very quickly this grid can get thrown around. Niall Crowther's 5th. And Ben is the biggest mover in the field at the moment. Look at this on the left-hand side of your screen. Oh, you can't tell, sorry. That's something that Chaz needs to change, isn't it, everybody? So Ben Lambert, Niall Crowther and Rob Lundgren have all gained 7 places so far. Steve Burke has gained 5 to be up in second, but he's got Josh Rayfield all over the back of him. You can see the Team Netcode car just to his outside. These guys both used to race with me in Limit Squad and Thrust Vector. Oh, they're so close together, they need to be careful of the wheel banging because these cars really do suffer from it. They're both bouncing around Westfield. Josh is off the circuit on the outside. Tom Jacobs has come back out the pits. Tom Jacobs has had an issue. Here's Andy Fox, who's apparently crashed. Is he just getting out of the way of the field? Yeah, he just stops the car. Tom Jacobs has come in the pits. I'm not sure if he's had... I think he's just had a stop and go penalty. He's now just ahead of Chris Coughlin in the race. These are actually... No, they're not the 2 closest on track. Rob Lundgren and Niall Crowther. Oh, I think Niall's been given a slowdown. Either that or he's made a mistake coming through. Just ahead of these boys. That's Matt Draycott on the back of Dave Waldock there for 5th position. Matt was 3rd fastest. Hope you're enjoying this though, everybody. This is brilliant racing from these guys. Great to watch. We've got a whole championship of this coming up, don't forget. I can't believe it. We've got 16 races coming up this season from this. Oh, Matt's gone down the inside of Dave Waldock and he turns him. He cracks on and carries on, but that's really, really not brilliant from Matt there. Let's have another look. So down the hill they go. Matt's really too far back to go down the inside. Oh, he just misses his braking point, I think. And he realises that there's cars coming up behind him, so he can't really hang about and wait for him. He still has Lundgren, Crowther there, taking any means necessary to try and make a place. Steve Burke and Josh Rayfield still battling for 2nd and 3rd, though. Round Hawthorne they go. We'll go on board with Josh Rayfield. There is Steve just in front in the Mark Blair liveried car from Mark Blair's 1999 Vectra. Look how close they can be together around here. The slipstream not massive in these cars. Oh, Matt's gone off track. Oh, he's properly off the track at Westfield. And in doing so, he's going to probably give Dave Waldock the place back, I think. Or is he? No, he's going to continue. See what happened. Oh, I think he might have just given him back the place. He's gone hot into the right-hander. It's Westfield where he's going to lose it. Oh, he's just turned in late. Car's gone wide and it's going to hit the wall, isn't it? Yep. Oh, look at that as well. Niall Crowther went with him when he did that. Behind Ben... Oh, Ben Lambert's away, actually. It's Rob Lundgren that's got Derek Robb and Niall Crowther right behind. Michael Blake and Jack Werrell just swapping places. Michael going through there into 8th position. We've got some epic racing going on. And yeah, Lundgren is he's really, really hoovering up all the freebies at the moment. Rob Lundgren's up to 5th position from last on the grid. He was 15th. And he's done everything right in this race. He's avoided all the madness. I'm so pleased with how exciting the racing's been. I mean, everyone said, oh, it's going to be boring, Chaz. It's a boring car. That's why we call it the Boring Car Championship. Jack Werrell bounces his way past Michael Blake into Surtees. Don't forget, they have fixed setups on these cars. You can't really edit them at all. Oh, in the background there, Andy Fox just off the circuit. It's a shame to see Andy that far down. Same with Tom Jacobs as well. Such a shame to be that far down the order, especially with Chris Coughlin involved too, that far down. But this is the great battle we've got going on for 2nd place here. Steve Burke and Josh Rayfield. Steve, privateer and independent in this championship. Josh Rayfield is in the Team Netcode car. His teammate Carl Jacquelet is the only driver in the series not here tonight. Carl unable to make it this evening. Josh is doing everything he can to try and get past Steve Burke. Dennis Melcher at the moment is leading the race by 5.3 seconds. Josh has got an overlap around the outside there, you know. He's done a great job of it. Down the straight they go. Don't forget, this is Steve's first ever session in the car as well. He jumped in during qualifying and that was it. And he got on with the car straight away. Josh takes plenty of curb down the inside. Not sure if that would have been a slowdown. I'm not sure if you can get one through Paddock Hill. Just looks down the inside. Nearly makes a bit of contact, but again, just look how close they are. Oh, Dave Waldock, he's disappeared. I'm not sure if he's disconnected or something, but hopefully not. We'll stay on with Josh Rayfield. So much lock on there. He needs to get a good run out the corner, and he's just not done it. Steve manages to get away a little bit. This battle between Jack Werrell and Michael Blake hasn't gone away either. Michael is still right behind him in the Might Just Fit machine. Number 65 against number 18. Matt Draycott just waiting in the wings as well in 10th position. This is for 8th and 9th. We are under lights though, essentially now. This is getting very dark indeed. These guys have got Niall Crowther and Derek Robb and Rob Lundgren just in front in this other absolutely epic battle. We'll go on board with Niall and just see what he can see. Niall's doing a brilliant job at the moment. Again, Niall not one of the quickest on iRacing, not the most experienced in it, but he's here in 7th place at the moment. In these sprint races, by the way, it's the top 10 that get points, and it's just 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in terms of those points. You get 1 point for pole position for the sprint race, and in race 2 it's the Formula 1 current point system as well, where it's oh, actually Josh Rayfield, by the way, has got through past Steve Burke. Still side by side around Druids, still side by side down towards Graham Hill, just as we looked away from Ben Lambert. Oh, there's contact, the two of them bang wheels. Josh manages to save it, but that's the dangers that they face in these cars. And Josh gets launched out sideways, I'm afraid. And he remains in 3rd place. Just behind is Ben Lambert in 4th. He just went off the track a moment ago. I think he just went off at Paddock Hill Bend. Dave joins us in the Facebook video. What's happened, Dave? What went wrong, mate? I've seen a couple of the guys drop out. Morgan's down there as well. Andy Fox is a lap down. This is becoming a battle now, though, between Ben Lambert in 4th place, Rob Lundgren in 5th, Derek Robb just behind in 6th place, and then Niall Crowther in 7th. Michael Blake and Matt Draycott close together as well. Matt is starting to put the pressure on Michael. This is the wrong camera. There he is in the independent. I'm sure Ben Lambert will be happy with this so far. 11.5 minutes of the race gone as well. We're nearly done. Can't believe how fast this has gone by. Don't forget, this doesn't count towards the championship. This is just the pre-season test race. If we just look at these boys as well, by the way, look how close this battle is. You've got Derek Robb here in the Team Jane Fonda car. Niall Crowther, oh, Niall gets a good run, but he's on the grass. Manages to keep the speed up, though. And he's going to try and go down the inside of Derek Robb. As we go into Paddock Hill Bend, Niall gets out of it a little bit early, just to play it safe. Oh, he's actually put the pressure on Derek, and he's gone deep into turn 1. Niall's on the brakes just to not hit him. These liveries look great from far away as well, don't they, I tell you. Really, really pleased with how they turned out. Matt Draycott, Michael Blake and Jack Werrell all very close together here. So we've got some awesome battling going on up and down the whole field. Oh, Rob Lundgren has gone past Ben Lambert. He's managed to get a crossover on him. A switch back, a bit of a tap there as they go into Surtees. It looks like the move's been done. This is still close as well. Oh, Michael Blake's managed to pry open the door on Jack Werrell now as well. Jack needs to be very careful. The wheel banging is an issue in these cars. Jack's on the inside. Matt Draycott there just in the back. He's not going to go 3 wide, is he? Around Hawthorne. They're very close together. A bit of a door bang there from Werrell and Blake. They managed to keep it under control. Ben Lambert was just looking at Lundgren. Oh, Jack's come across on Matt. And Matt's gone off. Oh, Jack really not showing the best of his spatial awareness there, and Matt again is off the circuit. Steve Burke's gone off. Manages to bring it back on. Michael Blake's gone wide at that Sheen curve. This is incredibly close racing all the way up and down the field, but look at this. Josh Rayfield now 3rd, but Rob Lundgren has this absolute train of cars behind him. We've got Ben Lambert in 5th position. Rob Lundgren's getting 11 spots so far. What an amazing drive by Rob Lundgren. Started last on the grid, he's up to 4th. Ben Lambert there just behind, gains a bit of time into Paddock Hill, but loses it on the exit. Then you've got Derek Robb, Niall Crowther, or Michael Blake really going off the circuit at the bottom of the hill. He's got Jack Werrell waiting to pounce. Matt Draycott has recovered. That's Andy Fox just in front there. A lap down after the incident at the start. The only issue that we found with this car is that it bounces around a lot. Here's our race leader, though, Dennis Melchett. Doing an incredible, incredible job at the moment. And then here is Steve Burke in second place. Josh Rayfield is not leaving him alone, though. Josh is closing back up to the back of him. Michael Blake and Jack Werrell swapping places again. Still side by side. Jack needs to be careful moving over on people like that. He's done it to Draycott, and now he's doing it to Blake. You don't need to touch, boys. Come on. Very, very sketchy stuff there. No need to move over. He's still putting the pressure on, though, and he's still going to try and chase him down. Just ahead, Niall Crowther is close to the back of Derek Robb. Team Jane Fonda. Oh, Niall's going to clip the grass. He's very careful about it, though. Straightens the car up well so he doesn't spin it. Holding on to 7th position at the moment. That would get him 4 championship points. Oh, Matt Draycott wide again as well. Oh, and that is actually the end of the race. We tick over. Dennis Melchett wins the first pre-season test race. Steve Burke finishes second. Josh Rayfield third. It's going to be Rob Lundgren in 4th place, with Ben Lambert behind Derek Robb, Niall Crowther, Michael Blake and Jack Werrell all over the grass across the line at the end. Matt Draycott rounds out your top 10. Wow, quite a scrappy race early on. And yeah, we do need an interview with Rob Lundgren. That was great watching, but your race winner, as we see Tom Jacobs come to the end of the lap, is Dennis Melchett. And it's not really a surprise. Dennis has been amazing in these cars since we started this. Steve Burke, 2nd place on his first attempt as well. He only literally got the car about an hour ago. And there is Rob Lundgren coming through as well in 4th place. Josh Rayfield, by the way, 3rd place on the podium. Great drive from Josh. He started 9th on the grid. And Steve started 7th on the grid as well, actually. But Rob Lundgren, 4th there, him and his teammate leading the pack down the hill. And yeah, I really, really do think that this is going to be a good series. All the guys together. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Ben Lambert 5th as well after that. I'm really, really pleased for Ben because he had a tough time in the first pre-season test. And oh God, what are these boys doing now? There's going to be someone spinning off somewhere. It's Jack Werrell again in the middle. We'll have a word with Jack about his standards. There's cars banging into each other all over the place. Derek Robb loses out. Derek's off the track. Werrell's off the track. Oh, he's back across. Nearly hits the Might Just Fit car. Who's that in the fence? That's Steve Burke. Wedged in the wall. But there is your race winner, everybody. Dennis Melchett wins the first race of the British Touring Car Championship then. Not an official round. Not an official round, don't worry. Here are your results then. Dennis Melchett wins from Steve Burke, and Josh Rayfield rounding out a very, very deserving podium. Rob Lundgren finishes in 4th place, with Ben Lambert a great 5th, with Derek Robb and Niall Crowther just behind. You can see Jack Werrell there launching it through the pit lane. Niall Crowther 7th, Michael Blake in 8th, with Matt Draycott actually 9th, with Jack Werrell classed in 10th place. I think he might have had a slowdown penalty or some sort of drive-through or something there. Tom Jacobs 11th, with Chris Coughlin in 12th, Andy Fox 13th, and we have Dave Waldock and Morgan Butler at the back of the field. I want to have a look back at the start though and just see what we got, because it was quite a crazy one. So look at Tom Jacobs, and I think Tom might have jumped the start, you know. Tom might have jumped it. He doesn't get a good launch anyway though. Melchett and Draycott fly past. And look at Werrell. Werrell through the middle. We'll have a look at Werrell's start in just a moment. Let's keep an eye on Matt Draycott though, because he took the lead. He got a great run out of Paddock Hill Bend and up into Druids. He was later on the brakes and leading. And then Jack Werrell, oh, honestly, Jack has been a bit of a nuisance to some of these guys tonight. Andy Fox got so unlucky there with Morgan Butler. Oh, Jack. Yeah, Jack was a bit of a lively one to watch, to say the least. So here is Jack Werrell's start then. From the very get-go. Just watch how he does this. He's been racing in the officials this week, but it's a rolling start, but manages the wheel spin so well and gets a great, great jump off the line. Through he goes. And he was thinking at this point, brilliant, we've got 2 cars in the top 4. Myself and Tom Jacobs, one of the fastest guys in the series, even if Tom had jumped the start. But Jack just goes late on the brakes. 2 bits of contact with his teammate, And then Andy Fox. Oh, it's just a bit of a mess at the top of the hill. And Andy gets stuck. Yeah, the car does its little bouncy thing and goes over. But Dennis Melcher then takes the race win, and it looks like he's jumped down a little bit. We'll have a quick chat with him though. Race winner, Dennis. That all went to plan, didn't it? In the end, it seemed like a pretty standard one for you.
Yeah, that was an easy one, to be honest. Too easy.
Well, we saw Draycott get a great start. I mean, you and Matt overtook Tom very easily off the start. Tom didn't seem to get a very good getaway, but when Matt went down the inside into Druids, did you think it was going to be a bit more of a fight than it ended up being?
I know that the car got the tires for the first 2 laps, so I was hard on his heels to get the place back, because I knew when the tires are going to break down, it's always good to be in front.
Definitely. Obviously, you didn't really get much of an insight into the race pace of anyone else at the moment as you just drove away with it, but how did the car feel over the course of a race?
Very nice. I was checking out the tires at the end of the race and I nearly went off twice, so they're not really good after 10 laps, but still, the car is drivable. It's a lot of fun.
Good stuff. Well, as long as you're enjoying it, mate, that's the key thing. Well done on taking that one, and of course, we have the season that's actually genuinely starting on Thursday. What are you aiming for there? Is it going to be same again?
Hopefully, yeah. Yeah. I think you always have to be quick in the qualifying to get a very nice position at the race start, because it's very hard. If you check out the lap times, we had 5 drivers nearly at the same time, so you have to be the quickest in the qualifying.
Yeah, just to get that clear track advantage.
Yep.
Well, very well done though. Good start for you, and of course Rob Lundgren as well. I imagine he's over the moon after that, starting last on the grid and finishing in 4th, biggest mover of the field. It's going to be a good season for you by the look of it, mate, and I hope it goes really well for you.
Thank you very much. Fingers crossed.
Anyone you want to give a shout out to, by the way, before I let you go, mate?
Oh, not at the moment. I will do it on Thursday.
Cracking. Love it,
I
Dennis.
first have to. I don't think anyone's looking, so I will do it on Thursday then.
Love it. Good stuff. Well, have a good week until then, mate, and I'll see you there.
Thank you. You too.
And someone else that we'll drag him in, because he'll be absolutely over the moon with that. Eventual 4th place finisher, who we see here in a big train of cars, Rob Lundgren. Rob, that was an amazing performance. Were you expecting that one at the start of the race?
Not really. I haven't raced the car for 6 months. So
Well,
coming into the practice and the quali, I was feeling very, very rusty.
Well, it seemed like you picked it up pretty well once the race got going and kept it nice and clean. When all the chaos kicked off in front of you, were you thinking, oh great, some freebies here? Or was it a sort of just keep your head level and crack on?
Yeah, just keep the head clear, just keep it down, and just drive.
Well, you had
Enjoy the
quite...
moment.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I hope you do, mate, because it was a great drive, and obviously in a championship scenario, it would be some good points in a sprint race like that. You had a big train of guys behind you at most points as well. I mean, with Ben Lambert in the fight as well, he was another one that was sort of struggling through the last pre-season test and through qualifying, but to see you boys go up together was great. I mean, were you expecting to both push through the pack that much, or were you thinking that a battle was going to slow you down?
Yeah, nah. Well, battles always slows you down, to be fair. It's just the car is... It is what it is with this car. You can just have a good battle and just, as I said before, just keep it smooth.
Yeah,
Still
definitely.
gain.
Well, there was a lot of door banging, and it was very close racing. That's the thing, and you sort of have the confidence in this car to do that, don't you? It's great to have side-by-side action in.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it was good to watch, and I'm very pleased for you, Rob. But you were the biggest mover tonight, so you do get driver of the race as well, which is a great achievement on the first one. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to, mate?
Well, I'll give him the shout out, and the rest of the guys in the box did, to be fair. Stuck by me so long.
Good stuff.
And obviously Hedge for absolutely helping me out in this car.
Yeah, he's a tuned veteran in the Jetta is Hedge. But I will see you on Thursday, mate. Hopefully we can see another good performance from you there, and have a great week in the meantime.
The same to you.
Cheers. Rob Lundgren there, 4th place finisher in the end. Someone that I do want to drag in and have a quick chat with is eventual second place finisher Steve Burke. Steve, I bet that you weren't probably expecting that one really. It looked like it was going to be a bit more of a tough race. Good battle with Josh throughout, but yeah, second place on your first attempt isn't too bad, is it?
Yeah, no, I'm well happy with that. I didn't think, certainly wasn't expecting that. I think Tom had some issues with the jump start. Matt managed to find a wall on lap 1 or 2, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good battling with Josh. I think he was quicker than me, but I could see he was pushing really hard. He made a couple of mistakes and just dropped back a little bit. So yeah, it worked out really nicely.
And talk to me about the contact with Josh. I mean, we know that these cars don't really like a wheel bang, and it really did send Josh off. I know it wasn't intentional, but were you expecting something like that to happen with such close racing, or was it just a case of see whether it happens or not and knock it about a bit?
It certainly wasn't intentional. I felt like I gave Josh enough room, and Josh felt that I gave him enough room as well. It is difficult because with the amount of understeer, you both have to sort of commit to the corner quite a long time before the corner's there. It feels like ages in advance. So probably 50-50, but yeah, no, we're all good.
Smashing. Well, good to hear, mate. Very well done on the first one. Hopefully we can see you do the same on Thursday when the season gets underway. In the meantime, though, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
No, there isn't.
Okay, roger that, mate. Well, have a great evening for the rest of it. I'll jump in the chat in a few minutes' time anyway. But I'll speak to you again very soon anyway, if not.
Thanks, Chaz.
Cheers.
Bye.
Steve Burke there finishing in second place, and just behind him in that one was Josh Rayfield, all the way pushing Steve to the end. Josh, you must be pretty pleased with the podium after that one, mate. It was a good drive.
Yeah, definitely. That was a really good race with Steve there. Really enjoyed it. Honestly think I could have had him towards the end if we didn't have that bit of contact where I lost, I think it was 3 seconds to him. But yeah, really good racing. I really did enjoy it. That really good track combo as well.
Yeah. Well, this car does work quite well around a lot of tracks. It's quite a surprising bit of kit. How have you felt adjusting to driving it? I mean, most people see it and think, oh, it's dull and slow and it's easy, but to get time out of it, you really have to be quite precise, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, it's front-wheel drive, I think, so it's quite understeery through some of the corners. But where you would normally use like a lower gear for some corners, with the torque that it has, you can use like a higher gear. So it's quite different. But it really does work on these tracks, which I really do enjoy. And you've done a cracking job, I think, with the series. Like, really fun. Really do enjoy it.
Thank you, mate. Really appreciate that. Well, very well done on your third place. Hopefully we can see you do the same on Thursday. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before you go, mate?
No. But like it's you running the series, mate. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem at all, mate. I'll speak to you very soon. Josh Rayfield there, eventual third place finisher. Someone that may be having a bit of a sore moment that I will bring in though. Tom Jacobs, was it a jump start, mate? I think Steve mentioned something slightly about it.
Yes.
Sugar. Well, I mean, to be fair, you didn't get the best launch anyway. I mean, what were you thinking when Matt and Rob went past with such ease? And let's not talk about the fact your teammate smashed into you.
Yeah, so I forgot it was a DSG gearbox. And because I've been driving the AMG so much, you can put the clutch in on that, put it into first, then pull away.
Yeah.
I also tried to do that with the Jetta.
And it moved.
Yeah,
I made the same mistake in testing it, because if you hold the brake, it sort of automatically clutches it, doesn't it? It's a bit weird like that.
Yep. So, and then I just gave it, and then I got all flustered with my pedals, gave it max rev. It spun the fronts up way too much, and they all just went ahead. Then I saw a black flag, so I was like, oh, I may as well pedal it around, try and get as much time as I could out of it. Tried to overtake a few people, went into the hairpin, and my teammate, well, from what Jack said, decided to try and brake on the grass rather than on the tarmac to his left, so that was the end of that.
Yeah, it was a bit of a wild moment, because Jack himself got a mega getaway. I mean, he split the two Might Just Fit cars straight off the line and got a beauty of a start. But yeah, unfortunately, he went in a bit hot, and then when it hit the grass, there was nothing he could do. But fingers crossed, you know, I mean, you showed that you had the pace tonight. You got pole position from Dennis Melchett, who eventually won the race. So yeah, I think let me just have a quick look at the best times in the race. Best lap time was Dennis with a 39.0. I mean, you and Werrell were up there just in the low 140s, sort of 139. Second fastest lap was actually Josh Rayfield on a 139.5. So there's a good spread of pace across the field, and obviously you're up there with them. So over the course of the season, do you reckon you'll have it?
Yeah, I think we'll give it a good go. I really wanted to see what mine and Dennis's pace would have been like on, a similar race pace, and I'm quite surprised with Matty as well. He's doing really well at the moment. So, yeah, hopefully for round 1 we can keep it a lot cleaner. I won't jump the start, and we can give you a good broadcast.
Good stuff. Well, just before I let you go, mate, is there anyone you'd like to shout out to on stream?
Yeah, give a shout out to my dad. He's watching at home at the moment, and I'll give a little shout out to Sid as well, because she puts up with me doing this every week. So,
Ash and Sid, good to see you both
Yep.
if you are watching. Thank you, mate. Very good to see you again, and well done on the pole position. Shame about the race, but we'll see you on Thursday and see what you can do.
cheers very much, mate.
Cheers.
Bye.
And that does bring us to the end of the pre-season tests then. And now all we have left to do, as you'll see on the bottom of your screen now, is the first round of the championship to get things underway on Thursday night. 7:45 p.m. the broadcast will go live. We'll have qualifying from 8 p.m. Race 1 of the night is due to start about 8:15, and then we have the feature race of the night at about 20 to 9 it will be roughly, and we'll have a 25-minute feature race with a pit stop on that one as well. So plenty of action to come. Thank you everybody that has been watching tonight. It's been an absolute joy to bring you the British Boring Car Championship. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you do have any feedback, do let me know, whether it's by Facebook or Discord. Anything will do. And I'll see you on Thursday for the next round of the championship. Have yourselves a great evening. We'll see you soon.